Welcome to Inside the System, for the quietly brilliant and the deeply tired. The ones holding it all together while the system looks the other way. Here we don't sugarcoat, but we don't shame either. Just clarity, care, and the kind of truth that sets you free.
Hello, everyone. I'm Kelvin Redd. Welcome to Inside the System. When I walk into organizations, I often get invited to work with the masses, middle managers, frontline supervisors, teachers, department leads. And that's good work, necessary work. But what I see too often is the people at the top, the senior leaders almost stepping aside, saying, "This is for them, not for us." As if leadership development is a remedial class that only the folks below need. But leadership isn't a tiered privilege. It's a shared responsibility. If anything, the higher up you go, the more you need to keep growing. Because the stakes are higher, the ripple effects are greater, and the harm of ignorance is more costly. Think about this. Senior leaders are the ones shaping culture, driving strategy, guiding change. They're the architects of trust or the cause of disengagement. Yet statistics tell us that only about 10 to 15% of people are truly self-aware, and 87% of Americans are disengaged at work. That's not a coincidence. When leaders at the top haven't done their own self-work, the cracks show up everywhere. Through rushed decisions, reactive cultures, high turnover, and quiet quitting. Leadership development for executives isn't about fixing what's broken. It's about refining what's most needed. Clarity, courage, and compassion in complex spaces. So many senior leaders think these programs are all about business metrics. ROI, productivity, strategic agility. And yes, leadership development absolutely impacts those things. But at its core, real leadership training is about personal growth. It's about helping leaders become more self-aware, emotionally intelligent, and resilient. It's about equipping them to make ethical decisions under pressure and to lead people, not just manage operations. When senior leaders grow on the inside, their organizations flourish on the outside. That's not motivational fluff. That's how human systems actually work. Imagine this. I come in to work with your managers. We explore communication, trust, engagement, self-awareness. They're learning to see themselves differently, to navigate conflict, to lead better. But the division heads, the senior VPs, the assistant superintendents, they're not in the room. They have no idea what their teams just experienced. And so there's a disconnect. The people in the middle grow, but the people at the top remain unchanged. That's how silos deepen and momentum dies. Leadership development must include everyone, especially those steering the ship. Otherwise, it's just window dressing. So, if you're an executive, a cabinet member, a senior leader, this is not a critique. It's an invitation because you deserve the same chance to grow, the same space to become more self-aware, more human, more whole. Organizations thrive when leaders at every level invest in themselves. When they build cultures of trust from the top down and the inside out, that's how we create workplaces that work, not just for the bottom line, but for the people who give it life every day. I'm Kelvin Redd. Thank you so much for joining Inside the System. See you next time.
Thanks for watching and listening to Inside the System with your host, Kelvin Redd. This space is for you, the ones doing the real work, even when it goes unseen. Remember, you don't have to shrink to survive. Speak truth, move smart, and protect your power. If this episode spoke to you, share it with a friend or teammate who needs it. And make sure to follow, subscribe, and hit the bell so you never miss what's next. Until next time.